life. Whether you're ready or not, sometimes it's rough. And it takes all that you've got, but he's been here, just waiting for you to knock. So take his hand and plant your feet on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock.
Hi, welcome to Life on the Rock, and tonight we have a special pro-life show for you tonight. January is a month dedicated for pro-life. Sadly, it's the anniversary of Roe versus Wade, January 22nd, and we're having a show tonight packed with guests that have different pro-life initiatives. Tonight we're having Bryan from Live Action. We're having Mike Schaefer and Jimmy Becker from representing Biking for Babies, and we have Joy Pinto and Michelle Haney. You know Joy from At Home with Jim and Joy on the radio, a EWTN radio show. So some of these are returning guests, but they're representing her choice. Joy's been on before, Kate's been on before, so exciting show, packed with a lot of information. Yeah. And you have a special message for us, Doug.
I do, yes. For those of you who remember, not too long ago we had a group on here representing Runners for Life, and National Life Runners, I should say. And the day after March for Life, they're asking that you join the National Life Runners team for the inaugural Nellie Gray 5K run in honor of the March for Life foundress, Nellie Gray. Nellie asked the Life Runners to lead this race soon before she passed away. The Nellie Gray 5K starts at 8 a.m. on January 26th at West Potomac Park in D.C. There will also be a kids 1K. Now, race registration already includes runners and walkers ages 6 to 72 from 28 states. You can register online at www.liferunners.org. The National Life Runners team is also leading a cross-country relay pro-life event during Lent. This is an amazing event starting February 13th going to March 24th. The relay kicks off at the Golden Gate Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge, both ends of the country, on Ash Wednesday, and the two arms meet at the Sioux Falls Cathedral in South Dakota on Palm Sunday. There are 1,103 legs that are each about 5K and will cover a total of 4,089 miles. Join this. This is going to be an awesome, phenomenal event. You can check out the route and sign up soon at liferunners.org. The only cost is your Remember the Unborn jersey. So we give high fives and fist bumps, feel the power, to all the life runners who are in this for Christ and for the pro-life movement.
You have an amazing memory. That's amazing.
Just rolled all that off.
Good job. Now we also have Eva Montaigne on the line representing the Walk for Life West Coast. Eva, are you there?
I'm here, Father Mark.
Well, we're coming out there, January 26th.
I'm so excited. We welcome you to San Francisco.
Yes, this is our big coverage of the San Francisco Walk for Life there, the West Coast Walk for Life. Eva, tell us about the walk. Who's going to be there this year?
Well, we're very excited. We have a great lineup of speakers, and I'll get to those in a minute. But what's really exciting is we just got a message earlier this month that the Papal Nuncio will be joining us, and not alone will he be joining us, but he will be reading from the stage a letter from our Holy Father. And that is just, obviously, we're very excited about that. Also, we heard that On Her Own, Jennifer O'Neill is coming out, and some of your listeners or viewers might remember her. She was one of the first supermodels and a movie star, and she was in many TV shows. Anyway, she had an abortion experience, so she's going to be coming out and be a part of the Silent No More campaign that starts before our rally. So we're very excited to have her join us. And then, of course, our own speakers, we have Reverend Childress, we have Elaine Riddick. Elaine was forcibly sterilized when she was young. We have Lacey Buchanan, whose video of her, story of her handicapped child went viral and had 11 million views. And then we have the Clingers, who also will be sharing their abortion experience. So we have a packed show for you.
So the nuncio, the official nuncio for the church in this country, is going to read a letter from the Holy Father addressed to the people there at the walk, right?
That's correct. That's what I've been told. So we are very excited. Our Archbishop, our new Archbishop, Corleone, who has been on your show before, I think, there at our Walk for Life, he was the one that had been in touch with him, and we had met the nuncio at Archbishop's installation mass last October. And he was very excited to hear about our event, and so we had the diocese officially invite him, and just like I said recently, he accepted, and he's coming, and he's reading a message from the Holy Father, and I would presume giving a papal blessing too.
Right, right. And no idea what it says?
No idea what it says. I did not get a preview of it, so he's going to surprise us.
All right.
Now, Eva, there's a rumor. Doug here. How you doing?
Hi, Doug.
There's a rumor that you advised the Holy Father on what to say in this letter. Is that true?
Well, I have my contacts there. Father Fessio, I have, he works for me. But no, it's going to be a surprise for all of us, and we're all so excited. It's going to be a great event.
And this year, like last year, it starts in front of the City Hall?
That's correct, Civic Center Plaza. The Silent No More program, which Jennifer O'Neill's part of, will start at 10:45. Our info fair starts at 11. Our rally, the official rally, starts at 12:30, and then we start walking at 1:30, and then we end up at Justin Herman Plaza, right on the water. It's a beautiful walk. It's a great walk right through the middle of San Francisco, and we hope that everyone can come and join us.
And the nice thing too about, maybe we could tell people who are afraid sometimes of the crowds, you were telling me there's access by the subway system at both ends, right? The beginning and the end.
Yes, this new route that we have had since this last year is actually quite convenient for those coming from surrounding areas, because both the beginning, the Civic Center Plaza, and the end, Justin Herman Plaza, both have BART, which is Bay Area Transit. So it's very convenient to get here and to get home. You don't even have to bring a car. It's much more convenient than it used to be.
So that's great news. So I know San Francisco parking can be difficult at times, but now it's much easier. So any last thoughts about the walk? Anything different or?
Well, we're going to like I said, have the papal nuncio. That's the biggest news we have this year.
That's
and
big.
I have to say that we've had a lot of new people contact us this year. I think more than any other year, there's going to be a whole new crowd that has never been to the walk before. It's really amazing how many new people we're going to have. So it should be a really great event, and we encourage everyone to come out. And the weather's supposed to be good.
Great, great. All right, well, thanks, Eva.
Thank you so much, Father and Doug. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
So that's January 26th in San Francisco. Certainly, if you're in that area, you want to go out there, and we'll be covering it so you can watch it here on EWTN. So we're going to go out with a video that's a promotional video for the Walk for Life. So we hope you enjoy this.
Hello, Walk for Life West Coast! Yeah!
What are you going to say today? Will you speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves? Will you work to protect the lives of innocent children whose lives are at risk of abortion? Will you work to protect mothers from making a decision that comes with a life of regrets? Will you work to help bring healing to those who've been wounded by abortion? Will you educate yourself on pro-life issues so you can educate others? Will you work to volunteer and support your local pregnancy resource centers and your local pro-life ministries? Will you make sure to vote pro-life?
For in due time, we will reap the reward if we do not give up.
This is a winnable war.
Live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I
right, welcome back to the show. And welcome back to Life on the Rock. I'm Doug Barry, along with Father Mark. We are the Rock House Compadres. Very special show right now, the pro-life special. This is one of those shows where I want to preface it by saying this, that there's a lot of struggle right now out there with people trying to keep up a sense of hope with what's going on, and a lot of attacks right now on life, on marriage, on religious liberty. And it's not just here in America, it's all over the world. We know people are watching. I get emails from Zimbabwe, Ireland, Australia. We know that all over the world people are really undergoing some serious challenges. But here at EWTN we are undaunted, and we know that as Catholics especially, we have 2,000 years of enormous degree of persecution that we have faced. Our brothers and sisters who have gone before us to pave the way for these messages to be brought to the world, I mean, they're giants. All right? We're standing on the shoulders of giants, those who've gone before us. Let's go back to Augustine, Aquinas. Let's go back to those who in the early years of the Colosseum, we'll never know their names, but they gave their life for the faith that we profess now. So we are undaunted and we keep moving forward. And we've got a great show because we've got a number of people who have been involved in this and are still going full speed ahead, even in the face of what could really discourage a lot of people. And our first guest is Kate Bryan. Good to have you on here, Kate.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You've been here before.
I have.
Right? You used to sweep the floors and clean the curtains in the back.
Yeah, that was one job I had way back in the day.
No, but it was a couple of years ago you were on our show.
Yeah.
And you were with
Youth Defense
from Ireland. Yeah.
So I lived over there for a couple of years and worked in the pro-life movement over there before I moved back. And then moved back just about a year ago, and now I work for Live Action.
Okay,
so.
and you're the communications guru.
Yes, communications director.
Yeah.
So.
Director, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Guru is a good word as well. So.
And you were saying before the show that the social networking of Live Action is really the largest, has the largest social networking presence of any pro-life organization out there right now.
Right, yeah, we have over 400,000 people following us on Facebook. And the majority of those are young girls between the ages of 13 and 17. So those are the same girls that Planned Parenthood wants to reach, but we're able to reach them with their pro-life message. So we share graphics, pro-life stories, ways to get involved in the pro-life movement, why you should get involved in the pro-life movement. So it's awesome, and it just continues to grow every single day. So it shows to us that young people are really yearning to get involved in the pro-life movement.
Do you have a typical type of person that would be part of that?
They're kind of from all different ages. Like some people on our Facebook aren't involved in any pro-life group, because you can see like some people you have tons of pro-life groups that they're following,
right.
But yeah, they're from all different walks of life and all different ages, but the majority of them are
all across the country.
Yeah, all across the country. Some international people that follow us. So yeah, so it's a great way to spread the pro-life message and even the faith. It's a great way to talk to our friends and our family about the faith on social networking. We're able to reach people that we never would have been able to before. So it's great.
And this isn't new for you. Your work with Youth Defense in Ireland, I mean, very active in pro-life work over there. And we'll discuss that in a minute. But let's go back really to the roots in the heart of you as a pro-lifer.
Sure.
Your communicative expression, your desire to reach out to the masses began when you were just a little girl selling lemonade.
Yeah, selling lemonade
Tell
to
us
raise.
a little bit about
Sure,
that.
it was. So I'm one of 4, and when we were young, my mom was very passionate about the pro-life movement and always tried to get us involved in whatever way we could. So she would have flower sales where she would sell flower flats, for people to get to plant in their gardens. And we would always set up a little lemonade stand when people came to buy their flowers to raise money for babies and just donate it to pregnancy help centers or have people donate little baby items and donate those as well. So it started way back in the day. I've been.
And I asked you if we had any video on that, but nothing was taken back then.
But
so.
there might be pictures somewhere. I'll have to ask my mom. But
if not, we'll Photoshop something together for you. Yeah, we'll make it happen. Yeah.
Put it in there. So yeah. So.
Now Ireland right now is undergoing, just a quick shot on that, they're undergoing quite a battle right now because Ireland right now abortion is illegal, but they're really on the verge of losing that defense right now, aren't they?
Yeah. So for over 20 years, the group Youth Defense that I worked for, for over 20 years they've kept abortion out, and it's just a group of young people. I know you're familiar with them because they've been on before. So for 20 years they've kept it out, and this is the first time that it's come so full forward to the forefront, where the Prime Minister came out in December and said that he was going to legislate an abortion. He wasn't going to give the people a vote, so he wasn't even going to go to a referendum. He was just going to legislate it. And so the legislation is supposed to come out in April, so I hope everyone watching, they just pray for
You mean the
youth
government
defense.
might actually override what the people?
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds familiar here in
So,
America.
so they're having a huge rally, tons of rallies actually
Yeah.
around the country, and encouraging people to come out and speak out. So keep them in your prayers, and I hope all the viewers keep them in your prayers. But because they really are a light to the world, you know, that they have no abortion whatsoever, and women and babies are protected over there and treated as equals. So you know, their lives are respected.
You know, it's a good example of how the enemy isn't going to be satisfied with just a little bit here and a little bit there, this country, that country, or part. It's not a matter of, okay, you pro-lifers can have that, and we who are pro-abortion want this. It's just there's this diabolical nature behind it that just simply wants to spread this anywhere and everywhere it can,
Right.
reaching into any area where there's any kind of light at
Right,
all,
right.
and bring that darkness there. So yeah, we
Right.
do need to keep praying for them. Now, we're going to be showing a video here in just a moment about some of the work that Live Action is doing. Can you set
Sure.
this one up for us?
Sure. So this was a video that we did back in October, right before the election. And you know, you always hear this rhetoric from abortion advocates that abortion's safe. You know, we want abortion to be safe, legal, and rare. So you hear that even from Planned Parenthood. They say that it's safe. So what we did is we did a lot of research on women who have died or been hurt by abortion, taken to the hospital. There was a woman, Tanya Reeves, in Illinois, who died in Chicago, and we did an undercover investigation where we called all of those clinics and had an actor pose as a woman who wanted to get an abortion and said, "Is it safe? Is abortion safe? If I come in, is it safe? Will I be okay?" And every single clinic said it's safe. Our actor asked if anyone had died there or been hurt, and they said no in every single case. So you'll see this in the video.
Okay, awesome. All right, everybody take a look at this. Lying about abortion from Live Action.
Is it safe?
Yes, it's safe.
Well, has anybody gotten hurt because of having an abortion?
Again, it's a very safe environment. It's very clean.
So no one's ever been hurt at your clinic?
No.
That's why I know that Planned Parenthood will continue providing care no matter what. I know you'll never stop fighting to protect the health care and the choices that America's women deserve.
This is the sort of thing that obviously, I mean, Live Action has done a great job uncovering, you know, repeatedly these types of lies, this type of deception. The brutality of this deception, the brutality of this verbal just onslaught of lies is really beyond the pale. And it just keeps going on and on. I mean, recently with the Newtown shootings, the horrible tragedy in Connecticut, and then hearing the president say the things that he said, the hypocrisy that comes out of this whole side is really unnerving to think that they can still get away with this.
Yeah, no, and we're tired of being lied to. You know, we're tired of the pro-abortion movement lying to us. And, you know, the president even, you know, he comes out and he said that all these little children from Newtown, I mourn their deaths, and it's so sad, but he, was just a complete hypocrite because he's the most pro-abortion president we've ever had. So.
And still supporting, obviously, as the video shows, his efforts to continue to support the funding of Planned Parenthood, and they receive millions of dollars in taxpayers' dollars, you know, from the government to continue this work. All right, so we're going to be moving towards another video coming up in just a little bit here.
Sure.
But before we get to that, your job then as a communications, I don't want to say guru. I want to come up with something. Yeah, but that's director is just kind of bland. We're trying to find something a little more prestigious. Royalty. Yeah, communications royalty right here.
Yes.
Involves what? Like, what is your main focus? You sit down at your desk every day, and your main job is. How would you, and why is it so important? The communication part is so important.
Well, we're very small. Live Action is very small. For a long time, it's just been 4 or 5 of us. So we're very small. So we work very closely as a team, sitting down, strategizing about our investigations, but then how to really engage the public, how to engage the public on social media, how to engage the public on media. Lila Rose, she's been on Fox and CNN and all these different groups. So just working together to really expose the truth and engage people and get people talking about abortion. If people really spoke about abortion and really engaged their friends and family, abortion wouldn't exist in our country. It's so horrific, and pro-abortionists don't want to talk about it. They want to be quiet about it, and it's not a big deal, and it's, yeah. So we need to talk about it, and so that's what we're really trying to do at Live Action.
Well, I think the important part is just keeping that presence out there, because the mainstream media obviously buries these things, buries these stories. We don't want to hear about the destructive scenarios that are so common. Obviously the destruction of life, but even what we just saw here in this last video clip. And so the presence and communication obviously makes that happen, but you're relying also on the average Joe and Jane out there, so to speak, who gets a posting on their Facebook page or finds something coming through them in an email, that they continue to spread it from their perspective as well, because you can't reach everybody, obviously.
Right.
But if we all get involved, we can all reach 10, 20, 30, 50 or more people.
Sure.
Then we continue to grow it from there. Isn't that true?
Well, and that's how our videos have grown as well. Our presence on social media and on YouTube. We've posted all of our videos on YouTube, and they've only gotten seen, and they've only gotten on the media because people shared them, because they had so many views. So it's just the power of social media and the power of all of these new media outlets for us to spread the pro-life message. And I really believe that everyone is called to be involved in the pro-life movement. Everyone is called to do something. And St. Catherine of Siena, she said, if you are what you're supposed to be, you'll set the world ablaze. Right. And I love that quote, and I've been thinking about it a whole lot, especially when we're coming up to the 40th year of Roe versus Wade. Just thinking about how we are called to be involved in the pro-life movement. And if we really do what God wants us to do, we will end abortion in our country.
Right.
So.
As long as we get active.
Yeah.
All right, this next video, sex-selective abortion video, this is a little more, this is pretty discouraging to see this level going on here. Give us a couple seconds, set that up for us.
So we did a lot of research on sex-selective abortion going on in America. You hear about it going on in China, India, a lot of other countries, but people didn't think that it was going on in America. So we did an investigation last summer where we exposed that it was going on in clinics, and that Planned Parenthood was aiding and abetting sex-selective abortion in their clinics.
All right, everybody check this out, this video here.
That the doctor cannot do the procedure, just determined on sex and race. Yeah.
Okay, so I just shouldn't say it anymore.
You just have to put your name in there when and if you decide you're gonna come in and have the procedure. I mean, you can tell her. She's gonna tell you the same thing. Just don't let it be known. Just don't let it be known.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really good about that. You'll like her.
Okay.
I've worked in the field for 35 years. I've seen everything.
So you've seen other girls based off of gender?
Oh yeah.
Really? So you've seen other girls based off of gender?
Oh yeah.
Really? So the doctor will be fine about it?
Oh yeah. She's okay. Hey, she's really cool. I've worked for her for 12 years now.
Okay.
She's really cool.
That's really. I'm glad that the doctor will be supportive, because on my way here, actually, the friend I'm with, I implied my reasoning, and she got a little, I don't know, uncomfortable.
Everybody has their own reasons, and it's like it's none of anybody else's business. So.
Right.
Anyhow.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
One of the things that strikes me about videos like this, when we see this sort of investigative stuff and you talk to the pro-abortive side, is they present, sometimes they get the right person in there that kind of looks like just grandma talking to you. Oh, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine as we slaughter the unborn. It really kind of, speaks to St. Paul talking about the angel, the devil coming as an angel of light. It really is disturbing. But then again, we get this even from the White House as well.
Sure.
We get this, I will take every step necessary, even if it's one step to save even one child, except all those children that I believe should be legally aborted, infanticide, the whole 9 yards. It is really an unbelievable upside down nature that we're in right now.
Yeah.
A couple minutes left for you then, Kate. What do you say to the world, the millions of people listening or watching, to plead with them and shake them to the core? What do you
Well, tomorrow is the March for Life in Washington, D.C., so I encourage everybody who's out there, if you're anywhere near Washington, D.C., please come out and join us. We're hoping that it'll be the largest presence ever. It may be larger than the inauguration presence, which is amazing, and I hope and pray for that. If you can't make it, please pray for everyone out there. You know, standing up for the unborn. Do everything that you can when you're, you know, from your home, even if it's social media, sharing a story, sharing a video, sharing some of our videos. You can check out our website at liveaction.org. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, watch all of our videos, share them with your friends and family. It's a great way to expose the truth to your pro-abortion friends because they don't believe that this sort of stuff is going on, and we, you know, give you an opportunity to share the truth about what's going on in the abortion industry. So yeah, I just encourage everyone to get involved and do whatever you can to stop abortion in our country, and I really believe more than ever that we can do it. We can change the world.
And one of the key areas I want to get to before we cut to the break here is this, Kate, and you tell me if you agree with this, is the response that men need to have. The majority of abortions would not occur, and I hear this from a number of different, you know, people involved in the abortion movement. The majority would not occur if men, in the lives of the women, a father, a brother, an uncle, the father of the child in particular, were to fight for the right of that baby, but also for the protection of that woman. Is that not true?
It's so true. The majority of women, if you talk to them who have had abortions, or if you hear their stories, they felt like they had no way out. There was no one there for them. And the majority of it is men just standing up and being men and taking care of women. And we need men to stand up and to be in our lives and be present.
It's one of the key areas out there, and men, I got to say this, it's one of the key areas that we're wired for: fighting, protecting, defending, providing, caring for those that can't care for themselves. The child in the womb, the woman who's under that pressure and that distress right there. Be a man. We got to be men. And it starts with prayer, and it follows with action. Deep prayer and heroic action. So come on, what are we doing? What are we waiting for? Kate, great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
And keep up your awesome work, and God bless all of you there at Live Action. All right? All right, don't go away. We'll be back after this break with more on our Pro-Life Special. Don't leave. We're back. Thank you for being with us. Doug Barry here along with Father Mark. Rock House compadres, you are in the Rock House. It is the best place that you could be at this time. We have with us now a couple of gentlemen from Biking for Babies. We have Jimmy Becker and Mike Schaefer, and you guys, Biking for Babies. I love it. They pulled up in the back on a couple of hogs, a couple of Harleys, had the leather jackets on, Biking for Babies, tattoos on their arms. We're not going to show that on the show, it'd be scandalous. But you guys, actually, it's not that. It's bicycling.
That's correct, yeah.
Right. Doesn't sound as tough, but, and you guys have regular testing for doping and things like that, for blood doping, is it?
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell us. All right. Well, first of all, thanks for being on the show. Good to have you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you. Very important, very, very important reason that you're doing this. All right. Start with you, Jimmy. Tell us, what is Biking for Babies all about?
So Biking for Babies is a summer initiative. We call it an 8-day trip with a purpose. And essentially what we do is we're working towards biking across the country. This is our 5th year. And in previous years, what we've done, we started in Illinois, zigzagging through the state of Illinois. And now we're at a point where we start in Louisiana and bike up to Chicago, Illinois. And our whole initiative is to work again to build awareness and then financially support pregnancy centers throughout the country.
So then, Mike, you guys get fundraising from other people to get people to sponsor your bikers who are doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much first and foremost family and friends going to our parishes and communities, telling them about what we're doing. And for the most part, it's just simply them, pledging some money. Most of our donations come during the ride or right before. I guess they want to make sure that we follow through, and we've definitely followed through every year. We've raised $80,000 since the ride started, and we've biked 3,500 miles as well. So.
Wow. And this is, so it's 8 days, once a year, where this whole thing takes place.
That's correct.
And so how many miles a day, roughly, are you biking?
We average about 140 miles a day. Our shorter days are about 100 miles, and then the longest we've ever ridden in a day is 230 miles.
Wow.
That day was pretty fun in itself. We crossed 4 states from Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri to Illinois. So yeah, it was quite an adventure, I gotta say, that day.
And how many people will go on one of these rides?
Our goal for this year actually is to have 20 riders, and then we'll have 8 people. They'll be split into 2 vans, and they're our support crew. And they help out in a tremendous way along the way, providing nutrition and just the encouragement. It's always nice to see the van pull up.
I always tell Jimmy that it looks like they probably have the most fun in the crew van right there. I can't describe it. It really is just fun watching them.
Well, there's no doubt that events like this or things like this help really bring people together. But there's also this personal growth or challenge that has to be occurring, inside each of you. Like what happens inside your mind? You're out there riding. I mean, there's got to be the adventurous side of it. Yeah, that sounds great. It's like when I ran Pikes Peak Mountain Marathon years ago. It took me about 8 days. No, it took me 6 hours to get up and down the mountain. But you're out there and you're starting to really question, why am I out here? Why am I running up and down a mountain? Actually walking up, running down, gravity. But you're biking 100+ miles a day. That's a lot of time to think and pray.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's going on inside of you at that time?
Well, I think just giving an example from one year, it was our first year. We had a break day in Champaign. Both of us are graduates of the University of Illinois. And so while we were there, one of the charities that we were supporting is Living Alternatives right there in Champaign. And we actually had a chance where they hosted an event for us on our day off. And during the event, a family came in, and there was actually an adopted child whose parents decided to give them life. And so what was beautiful about that is I got the chance to hold the baby in my hands. And that was really something that I guess just lit a fire under my belly, just to say, like, this is important, this is what we're riding for. And I think in addition to that, even just as we were getting started, I had come across a quote from JP2, and it was during World Youth Day in Colorado in 1993. Mm-hmm. And in that, in his homily, he said, woe to you if you do not succeed in defending life. And I was sitting there as I read that, and I was just like, I looked at myself and I was like, what am I doing? And I realized that this was a call to action. And obviously JP2 is very close to a lot of the JP2 generation. But it touched my heart in such a way to hear that, and it gave me a sense of hope as well, to realize that this is something that we can do, and more than just trying to work to end abortion from a legal point of view. I think more than that, we want to work towards transforming the culture.
All right. How old are you, gentlemen?
I'm 25.
25 and
24.
All right. So you weren't there when he said that, though, in '93. Yeah, I was there. I remember that. I was in Cherry Creek State Park, and I remember hearing him say that. And I was, 28 or so at the time, or maybe I was 12. I was young. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing that, and it affected me. And it's great to know that even though, people born after him, and now that he's even passed away, his words are still ringing out and waking us up to the reality of this time. But this is a pretty important thing, too. I mean, you guys are not out there just having fun, raising a few dollars, passing on to a pregnancy center. You're trying to move hearts and souls to really consider what's happening here. What do you say to that, then, Mike?
Yeah, I think kind of one of the exciting things about the ride that's along a similar note is we get to engage people in kind of spontaneous ways. People who didn't even expect to be involved in pro-life on a given day have the opportunity. Because we're passing through these random communities, they have that chance. Kind of a short example of that, last year we were down in southern Mississippi and we stopped at this gas station, and a couple of ladies saw what we were doing and started asking some questions. So they got excited, they called up the newspaper, took some pictures. the cop as well guided us through town for a few miles. So, a handful of people there, as well as the community, then saw what we were doing and hopefully felt compelled and inspired to keep doing more.
You didn't spray any holy water on the sidewalk, did you?
No, we didn't.
Be careful, they may get arrested for
Right,
that one.
exactly.
Yeah. No, that's good though. You found, thanks be to God, you had a good cop to help you out and support that. What are you hoping, and we'll see a promo video in just a couple minutes here of what this is all about. What are you hoping this grows to? I mean, it obviously everything's in God's hands, but God gives us imagination, right? And He gives us vision. He gives us, ideas and inspiration. What's the inspiration for you, gentlemen? Where do you want to see this go by the grace of God?
With God's grace, we definitely like to be at a point where we have a representative rider from each state, as well as a pregnancy center from that state. And that's certainly a goal that we're shooting for, and something that we're working towards to work to accomplish that goal is we're going to have multiple routes in the future. So this summer we're actually going to have 2 teams, but riding the same route. And then next summer our hope is to start another route in Austin, Texas.
Excellent. That's a great idea. And the pregnancy centers that you connect with, how can a pregnancy center, like if someone wanted to get connected with you to try to arrange and work towards this, what do they have to do?
And in general, they can simply email us. I'm Mike at bikingforbabies.com. Jimmy is Jimmy at bikingforbabies.com. So we're pretty well open. We keep wanting to reach out more and more people, and if there's a pregnancy center in need, we'll
So Mike or Jimmy, 2 separate emails, at bikingforbabies.com.
Right.
And they can contact you for more information on anything regarding this. If they have questions at all, of course, but if they're pregnancy centers that want to somehow get connected, represented from different states, there's got to be others out there like you that just don't know about this yet that would think, well, this is cool, we could get connected with this. We had, who was the gentleman we had on the show, Father, who rode from Colorado to Florida. It was a billion stories. A billion stories. Seth DeMore. Have you talked to Seth about any of this?
We did a couple of years ago. I did talk to him.
He needs to come and do a story on this, one of his billion stories.
But he was burned out on the bike, if I remember. He was done with
he was done with biking, but he might video you at least and get it up on his site.
Well, we should say, is there like a kind of a minimum requirement? Because you guys are serious bikers. Is it all invited, or is there
kind of a funny thing? And we do try to keep it as a small group of college students, especially in our first years here. But in terms of like any requirements, there's been a big range. Like this last year, everyone who tried the ride did the whole thing. But there are guys who do short training rides, like 50 miles and more than that, and everyone's successful. So.
Yeah, well, I got to be in some kind of shape at least to be able to do a few miles. Okay, we're going to go to we got a video here, promo video. Do you want to set this up for us? What are we going to be seeing here?
Sorry.
What we did last year.
I meant Mike. I'm sorry.
What we did last year, there were 9 riders last year, and there was I forget what it was, but it was a series of words, I think by John Paul II maybe, that kind of in sequence. We were all in different parts of the country, so we recorded ourselves in different places saying these words, kind of giving, encouraging that sense of unity in all different parts of our pro-life work. So
excellent. All right, everybody, check this out. A little promo for Biking for Babies.
Every day in America, while we go to work,
go to school, watch TV,
and play games,
someone in our country is choosing whether or not to have an abortion.
But a choice requires options.
Mothers need an alternative to abortion.
Real alternatives
that actually respect their dignity as a mother
and the dignity of their unborn children.
Fortunately, women's resource centers across the country
provide expectant mothers with these alternatives.
Things like shoes and cribs,
baby formula and diapers,
ultrasounds and checkups,
parenting classes and babysitting.
Can make a world of difference to a mother who doesn't think she can do it alone.
That's why Biking for Babies exists.
So we can help raise support for these centers.
To make life a real alternative.
The best alternative.
It's why this summer,
we're going to ride almost 1,200 miles, coast to coast.
From the Gulf to the Great Lakes.
From New Orleans to Chicago.
In 8 days.
It's why we're raising money to help these expectant mothers.
But we can't do it alone.
We need your help to help others.
So, like this video on Facebook.
Share the pro-life message with your friends.
Volunteer at your local women's resource center.
Pray for expecting mothers and an end to the culture of death.
If you want equal justice for all,
And true freedom and lasting peace,
Then America.
Then America.
Then America.
In America,
Defend life.
I just want to quote our president, who just recently said that, so many words that we're going to be judged on how we care for those who have the least ability to care for themselves. Unbelievable to hear that come from his mouth, but it's still true. And so let's flip that the right direction and see that you guys you're making that approach and that attempt to do that. Bikingforbabies.com. And you've got a Facebook page, obviously.
Right.
It's kind of pretty much mandatory these days. If you're a civilized individual, you have to have a Facebook page. But no, not really. Closing thoughts for you, gentlemen. Mike?
I think in general, we want to tell people that Biking for Babies is not just something we do for political work. It's for actual people who we want to help. And even if there comes a day, which hopefully when abortion ends, I like to think we're still going to be out there. We're still going to be showing our support for women and babies and families in need.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I guess just kind of to add to what Mike said, we will transform the culture, and that's what our responsibility is to do, to respond to Christ's invitation and to respond to what JP2 exhorted in World Youth Day. And it can happen, and it will happen, and we all share a part in that.
Yeah. I'll just close with this thought too. We're all part of something much bigger than ourselves here. This is an outreach. Right? There's a lot of these outreaches going on in different areas of our world. We've got to support them. We need to support one another in this. There's no way around this. The urgency of these times are too great for us to just sit on the couch and not let this let this go by without getting involved. Maybe you can't get on a bike. Maybe you can't do much more than just pick up the phone or send an email, contact these guys, and pledge some money to help support this work. It goes to pregnancy centers. It goes to help this cause, which is saving lives and affecting souls for the glory of God. Gentlemen, great job. Good to have you on here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you
Keep
very
up the
much.
good work. Ride safe. Keep the helmet on. We'll be back after this break with more on our special pro-life Life on the Rock. We are back with our third and final segment. Actually, it's our fourth segment, technically, Father, if you count the first segment that we do. So this is really our fourth segment. But we're back with our final segment, and we have with us Joy Pinto and Michelle Haney. Good to have you ladies on the show.
Good to be with you.
And Joy, you're very well known for your work with your husband Jim, and you do pro-life show through EWTN. Very, very active in the pro-life movement, pro-life work. Michelle, tell us about you. What brings you to the Rock House?
Well, I actually volunteer once a week at Her Choice Birmingham Women's Center, and it's a pregnancy resource center. So I help out there, and we want to try to get more people involved.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so how does she do? Just between us.
She does an excellent job.
She's doing all right?
Yes,
Okay.
she does.
We won't tell her you said that. We don't have to go to her head or anything, but great job. I hear you're doing great down there. All right. This is the final segment of our Pro-Life special. Big March for Life coming up this weekend, Washington and San Francisco. We said earlier, before the show and mentioned earlier in the show here too, that after the election, a lot of people were really suffering a shot in the arm. I feel like a kick to the gut. I saw things on Facebook and talking to people around the country who felt like, well, we did everything right, didn't we? We prayed, we fasted, we did all kinds of things. Why did God allow this to happen? We don't know the mind of God, obviously, but we do know that God never wants us to give up. And we still need to respond and move forward. And just before this segment, I liked what you said. The time is now to call out the church to wake up that's where we're really going to solve some of the problems in this area. While we do have to work on it politically, legislatively, and that all has to be continued, yes. But you're saying that's we can't be focusing on that because that's not really where we're going to win the ultimate battle. Tell us about this.
That's right.
Where are you coming from
Well,
here?
we're in pregnancy resource centers all over the country. We are on the front lines, and we are defending the culture of life. No matter if there's a Republican or a Democrat in the White House, 4,400 babies are going to get killed every single day in this country. And we, this year, will celebrate 40 years of that. Shame on us. Shame on us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we as the church, we Catholics, we Christians, we need to be who we are. We need to live and defend the gospel of life. And so at Pregnancy Resource Centers, we are on the front lines. It is the new evangelization. We have clients who are coming in who want to end their pregnancy, who want to kill their babies. So we have women who are being destroyed by the lie of abortion, whose lives need to be repaired and restored. And they need to have their humanity restored to them as women, that they are not objects, that they have been ordained by God for a purpose, and the baby inside their womb is a gift to them from God. And so it's our job, by God, to tell the truth, and to tell the truth in love, and to say, if you choose to have an abortion, you will be injured emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and sometimes physically. And so we have to say, in the state of Alabama, we have what's called the right to know, so we inform every client about the truth of abortion. I had a client who came in the other day who had had an abortion at an abortion clinic in Alabama. She was 8 weeks. She asked the abortionist if she could see the baby, and he said to her, because he cares about women, he said to her, "Why do you want to see it? You're going to kill it." I then said, "And then what did you do?" I thought I would think I would punch the guy in the face to say, "How could you be so cruel to me?" She said, "I began to cry, and he turned on the machine, and he aborted my baby." And then he injured her. And so she was injured from that abortion that he did. Not only did he injure her soul, he injured her body, and he destroyed her baby. Abortion has nothing good for women or the babies.
And the lies that we're hearing over and over and over, even from our president, administration, and all the marketing out there and the propaganda, that the concept that it's health care, women's health care, and the HHS mandate now being shoved down our throats, especially the Catholic Church, saying you've got to go along with this because it's a war on women if you don't. How did we get to this point, Joy, that we've really not been so shaken and stunned by this that we're not rising up and rebelling in enough numbers?
The church wasn't doing enough. And so when the church isn't doing her job, evil came in and did their job. And they lied. Satan has 3 tricks. He lies, he kills, and he destroys. And so we have to defend the culture of life. The culture of death is rampant. Marriages are being destroyed. Families are being destroyed. And babies and women's lives are being destroyed. And we have to say, I always have this vision of Jesus getting off the throne and saying, "Enough!" And then it's going to be over. And then every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that he is Lord. Every abortionist, every woman, every man. I mean, we have the answer. We need to go and live the gospel. We need to defend the gospel of life and to say this isn't a way. This isn't the way. There is a better way. And we need to tell the truth in love and defend the gospel of life.
Michelle, you're in the midst of this frontline trenches territory. What is it like to be there at those moments this is happening?
Well, it's a lot of the times it's very humbling because you have to put yourself on the back burner and you have to put yourself in the woman's shoes, because every woman who comes in is different and she has a different situation and she has a different reason for being there. Some women come in with their boyfriends or their fathers or their brothers, and who are pressuring them to abort, or some women have no support from anyone. Some women have had abortions before, and so they're hurting from that. So you always have to, any kind of judgments that you might want to make, you have to completely ignore. You have to do everything you can to help that woman and to help her choose life for her baby. So it's humbling.
When
yes.
they come into a place like Her Choice, the name of your outreach, that obviously it has a bit of a switcheroo. Thank you, Father. It's a nice way of putting it. I mean, it does have a nice subtle approach of giving them, you know.
Yeah, and we get a lot of women
look.
who come in thinking that it is an abortion clinic, and so those are difficult because, you know, we never lie, we never say that is what we do, that they are going to get an abortion when they come in. But when they come in expecting an abortion, that's different. You deal with that woman differently than you would a woman who comes in who knows she wants to keep her baby or isn't sure. So you have to approach her differently.
And what have you learned about that approach? What works? Say you have a woman that's determined to have the abortion. What have you found works in reaching them?
Well, it really is different in every situation, because some women come in and they are, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, they are 12, they want to abort. But it'll be for a different reason, so you have to find out what the reason is. If the reason is money or resources or something like that, then that's something that we can easily take care of. And so we want to find out if that's your reason, we can take care of that. So what is your other reason? We've fixed that problem. Or if the reason is that they have no support or they have someone pressuring them, you know, sometimes if the boyfriend comes in and, you know, if that's not a good situation, then, you know, we remind them that nobody can pressure you into this. This is your decision, and it, you know, your boyfriend isn't getting the abortion, you are. So you have to be able to live with that for the rest of your life. So some women, you can tell their hearts are hardened. And I mean, we get women who, no matter what you say, it's not going to change their minds, but you try everything you can. And so it's just
pray for them, yes.
Right, yes. Prayer is big, especially if we know we have an especially abortion-minded client. Will, you know, sometimes we'll huddle together and we'll pray really quickly before someone goes into the room. And
you know, this is interesting. We just got a couple minutes left, and less than 2 minutes left, and I want to hit something real quick with you. But the Blessed Mother has repeatedly come to our world in church-approved Marian apparitions, and she is constantly saying the same thing: pray, pray, pray. She doesn't even say vote. She doesn't say pass legislation. She never brings these issues up. Now, those are important things, absolutely part of any society, but she keeps going back to pray. We have to pray. There has to be prayer in there. Okay, so we know that's essential. 30 seconds. Joy, speak to the men out there right now. The majority of abortions wouldn't occur if the men in the life of these women would say to them, I'm here for you. We're not going to let this happen. I'll fight for you. Speak to the men, please.
Well, to every man out there, you've been called by God to be a protector and a provider. And you are to love, honor, adore, and cherish women, not abuse them, not use them for your own pleasure. They need to be honored and adored, and you need to treat another woman in your life as if she was your sister, or as if that child, you need to think of her, this is somebody else's daughter. And I'm going to violate her, and if something comes out, if we procreate a child out of this, some guys kick her to the curb and the baby to the curb, and she's left all alone. We need to rise up and be the men of God.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any more cowardly than that, to try to abuse the woman, use her, and then kill the child. It's one of the most horrific things we men can ever fall into. So men, come on, let's do what we're called to do. As iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. Let's do what we got to do. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you.
Great job. Keep up your awesome work, Father.
May our Heavenly Father shine His face upon you and give you His peace. And may Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We'll see you next week.